available experts, please report to room A9.
Hello guys, Hector here and welcome to NIM. NIM is a game where you take turns taking matches any route you want from a singular row, rows being these. Be the person to take the last match to win in normal play and no misère game. I don't know what that means, apologies. Click the row as many times you want, as much as you want to take, and then after a few seconds the module will take its turn. And you have to try and play it optimally so you don't lose the game. How do you play optimally? So first we need to find something called the NIM sum. NIM sum is actually quite simple to figure out, especially if you're using text-based calculator. The NIM sum is just bitwise XORing the size of all of the rows. So like this. So the size of each row, 5, 10, 12, 15, 14, 10, and 15 again, I think. 12, 15, 14, 10, 15, okay. So 8 is our current NIM sum. We're now going to take 8 and XOR it with all of the row lengths, and only focus on the ones when the number gets smaller than the row size. So 12 becomes 4, so we want to keep an eye on that. 15 becomes 7, that's fine. 14 becomes 6, that's fine.
Emergency cleared. All personnel, please return to your stations.
10 becomes 2, which is fine. And 15, of course, becomes 7. So in this case, any of these rows could be used for the current off-tool play. Let's try and get rid of one of these large ones, so let's reduce one of these 15s to 7. You know if you've done it right if the NIM sum afterwards is 0. So let's reduce this row to 7, which will be when it gets to here. It took 2 from the top row here. If you're playing optimally, it will just take a random amount from any row, because it can't do anything to combat the NIM sum. So it took 2 from here, so we're now down to 10 here. New NIM sum is 6, and we go from the start again. 6 to 10 becomes 12. 12 is bigger than the 10 we have, so we're going to ignore that one for now. 7 becomes 1, that's fine. 14 becomes 8, that's fine. 10 becomes 12, like we saw, so we can ignore that one. And 15 becomes 9, which is fine. I don't want to move this straight to 1 immediately, although maybe that might be helpful, because then they might not want to take anything from there. So yeah, let's reduce this all the way back down to 1. There's only now 6 here. New NIM sum is 12. 12 to 6 is ignored, because 10 is bigger than 6. 1 becomes 13, we can ignore that one. 12 and 14 becomes 2, that's valid. This becomes 10 becomes 6, so now this one is in the running again. This becomes 3. So these are our options for optimality this time. Let's reduce this one down a bit. Let's put this to 3. Okay, so this row is now completely gone. So we can just effectively ignore it the entire time now. 6 becomes 10, still ignored. Oh wait, the lim sum this time is 1. Oh god, I'm hoping I didn't miss anything that in the previous one. Lim sum is 1. With 6 it becomes 7, so it's ignored. 14 it becomes 15, so that's ignored. With 10 it becomes 11, so that's ignored. And 3 becomes 2. So our only option is to take 1 from here. Okay, so this entire row is now gone. Lim sum is now 6. With 14 becomes 8, so 14 is back in the running again. 10 becomes 12, so we can ignore it. And 2 becomes 4, so we can ignore it. So again, we only have one option here, reducing this to 8. Now this one's been reduced to 1. New lim sum's 3. 3 with 8 gets bigger, so we can ignore it. With 10 becomes 9, potential. And 1 becomes 2, so we ignore it. So our only option is to take 1 from here. There's now only 4 there. We reduce it to 9. We reduce to 4. Lim sum 13. With 8 we get 5, so we can do that. With 4 we get 9, so we can ignore it. And with 1 we get 12, so we ignore it. So we can reduce this to 5. Reducing this to 5 gave us 0. Then changing this gives us lim sum of 1. With 5 we get 4. And with 4 we're going to get 5. You can see here. So our only option is reducing the 5 to a 4. They took 1 from here. So 7. 7 with 4 gives us 3. And then with 3 will give us 4. So just take 1 from here again. Now 1 here. So we had 3 and 3 here. Now this is 1. So 2. With 3 we get 1. Which we can see, if we do that, they will have to take one of these rows, and we get to take the last one. And we get the module. There we go. That took a while. I'm going to do... Yes, sorry, let's do another example. So this time we have 7, 8, 12, 14, and 15. Lim sum of 2. And compare each of these. We're going to get 5, 8. We can ignore 8 immediately, because that goes to 10. 12 becomes 14, we can ignore that. 14 becomes 12, that's potential. And 15 becomes 13. So for the first one, we actually had 3 options. let's take 2 from here. So this one now only has 7. And nim sum of 9. As you can see, we don't actually have to calculate everything, we just have to find a valid move. So, 7 is now here. We've got a nim sum of 9, so comparing 7 with it. 7 we can ignore. We can ignore both of them. 8 becomes 1, that's valid. So let's just do that. We just had to find one valid continuation of it. So we had nim sum of 0 after removing this, those ones to get this to 1. This row is now completely gone. So we now have a nim sum of 7. Where we could just remove the entire other 7 row. Let's see if we actually have any better options. Not that. We could just remove one from here. But let's go with what we saw immediately. And just remove this entire row. Because sending this to 0 makes the nim sum of 0. They send this one to 0, so we now have nim sum of 12. So we're basically done again. Because we can just send this one to 1, they'll have to take a row, and then we win. And that's another module. So hopefully you understand how nim works now, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. I'll see you later.